Day for the elimination of poverty, with a very hot topic nowadays for all human being, as I can, or human beings, as I would like to recall, due to its very high importance, which is the new horizons for poverty eradication, a future pact in the age of technology and AI, which is the topic that ICF has chosen with its valuable partners for the International Day for the Elimination of Poverty. We shall be hosting a variety of speakers, high levels, experts, and youth activists from the relevant concerned institutions to have their input on the matter at hand, hear their opinions, and I'm very confident that they will do a lot of good and benefit for us all to increase our knowledge on the aspects. So don't take much of your time. ICYF has chosen this topic due to the importance that the youth nowadays in the OIC region and beyond are giving to this topic due to its life-changing aspects, whether on education level, whether on youth empowerment, but most importantly on employment and its opportunities. To start off, we would like to have our opening remarks by His Excellency, ICF President, Mr. Taha Ayhan. Please, the floor is yours, Your Excellency.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sorry for being late. Thank you very much for.
Walaikum assalam.
First of all, thank you very much for participating to this event. Again, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Sorry. You can just. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's an honor to address you today in today's event on the International Day for the Elimination of the Poverty. This day stands as a powerful reminder of our shared responsibility to ensure that no one is left behind, especially in a world where opportunities and resources remain unequally distributed. As we gather under the new horizons for poverty eradication, a future pact in the age of technology and artificial intelligence, we recognize the significant role that technology, innovation, and the energy of our youth can play in combating poverty. Despite years of the efforts to alleviate poverty in many regions, it has become evident that true poverty reduction requires new tools and approaches, ones that connect technology and economies, leveraging the artificial intelligence AI and digital advancements to reshape societies and economic systems. In the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, we always has been at the forefront of the youth empowerment within the OIC region. Our fight against poverty is demonstrated through numerous capacity building programs, vocational training, and incubation centers. Our commitment remains steadfast to create opportunities and foster innovation and equip young people with the skills they need to become agents of the change within their communities. And we are very thankful to our partners, especially I want to praise our partners in all our efforts, CESRIC and Islamic Development Bank, and all other participants and stakeholders, and the host governments also. In ICF, we has long recognized that one of the most effective ways to combat poverty is through education and entrepreneurship. By investing in the digital literacy of our youth, we are opening doors to career paths and opportunities that were once unimaginable and inaccessible. The world is currently experiencing a technological revolution, and ICYF, together with our partners and stakeholders, is working diligently to ensure that our young people, particularly in OIC countries, are not left behind in this very crucial transformation, especially as the technological divide continues to widen. Through the initiatives such as our learning management system, the Digital Skills for Development program, and the ICF startup platform, we are empowering young minds to turn their innovative ideas into sustainable businesses. These programs provide access to training in digital technologies, financial literacy, and entrepreneurship, equipping our youth with the tools to build resilient futures for themselves and their communities. We believe that technology, smart skills, and AI literacy are game changers in the fight against poverty. These tools will help our younger generations to develop sustainable job markets, optimize agricultural productivity, and create more efficient education systems that can reach even the most marginalized populations, including those in impoverished communities and the refugee camps. These advancements will open new horizons for poverty reduction, offering innovative, inclusive, and impactful solutions. Today, I want to particularly highlight the critical role of the youth led initiatives in this global fight against poverty. Young people are not merely beneficiaries of programs and technology, but they are the drivers. They are the drivers of economies and prosperity. At Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, we have witnessed the incredible impact that youth led projects have had in alleviating the poverty across various regions. From startup bringing digital solutions to undeserved communities to social enterprises focusing on economic empowerment through vocational educational training, our young leaders are proving that innovation is the key to poverty eradication. We have seen this in our initiatives in the Niger, Uganda, Sudan, and Lebanon, and other parts of the world, where these efforts have transformed the lives of the both young people and their communities. We are proud to support these initiatives by proving platforms for young entrepreneurs to connect with the mentors, investors, and international partners. These collaborations help youth turn their ideas into impactful actions, generating jobs and fostering economic resilience, particularly in developing nations. This is precisely what ICYF incubation centers and startup summits achieve each year. However, we must also recognize the urgent need to include those in conflict zones and war torn regions in all poverty education efforts. Our young people in Gaza, in Lebanon, and the growing number of refugee camps who have lost so much, including their hope for a better future, need our support now more than ever. We must offer them opportunities to continue striving for their future and daily struggle for basics. It is our duty to speak for them at every platform and forum and to do everything in our power to collaborate on collective solutions that rebuild their lives and provide them with a chance to succeed. We cannot speak of ending poverty without addressing the specific challenges faced by these youth. They are an integral part of the global youth community, and we must ensure that they are not forgotten. True poverty eradication cannot be achieved without peace, security, and human rights, and certainly not without cooperation. Moreover, it is clear that we cannot do this alone. Therefore, I all call on all global stakeholders, the governments, the international organizations, the private sector, and the civil society to join us in embracing the technology driven solutions for sustainable development. We need stronger international collaboration to strengthen economic resilience in developing countries, particularly through investments in education, entrepreneurship, and digital infrastructure. Our partnership with OIC institutions, our friends at the McGill Youth Advisory, delegation from IRSAM, CESRI, Islamic Development Bank, and South-South Cooperation, Vice Secretariat, and our youth member institutions and councils further amplify the reach and impact of our strategic efforts. Together, we can reshape how we address poverty, aligning OIC strategies, Islamic Development Bank plans, and our collective work with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, particularly first goal and building a world where poverty is significantly reduced and youth have renewed hope for a better future. Uh, as a conclusion, last, I reaffirm our long-term commitment to working with all of you to build a future where poverty no longer stands as a barrier to opportunity. Through technology, innovation, and energy of youth, we can and we will break the cycle of poverty. Let us seize this opportunity to unite our efforts, equipping our youth with the tools of today to build a prosperous tomorrow. And thank you very much to all our esteemed partners, speakers, and youth for making this event possible. Thank you very much again. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for this valuable intake and these views which you always share with all of us that keep us all going. AI and technology is eradicating poverty. Or is it? Is it vice versa? How can we, or can the youth, or can the global community use AI to and technology as tools to actually reduce and eradicate these aspects? I think the Statistical, Economic, and Social Research and Training Center for Islamic Countries can give us an intel about that, especially in the OIC region. So, without further ado, I would like to proudly introduce Her Excellency Miss Zahra Zmurud. Please, Your Excellency, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, and all of our colleagues from eminent organizations. Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullahi ve Berekatuh. First of all, it's a great honor to address this gathering at such an important day. We are in the International Day of Poverty Eradication. And I would like to thank, first of all, ICYF and His Excellency Taha Ayhan for organizing this event on this special day of International Day of Poverty Eradication. At the outset, so this is an important juncture in our shared journey towards eradicating poverty. As we meet today to explore the new horizons for poverty alleviation, we must reflect not only on the possibilities that lie ahead, but also on the progress and the challenges that have shaped our path till now. As we know, poverty is not a reality that only concerns the poor. Actually, poverty is seen as a destructive force in all social and economic aspects. And as we believe in Islam, according to Islam, as a requirement of its all-encompassing nature of social issues, Islam produces solutions to the problems in accordance with its own inherent principles. And accordingly, the basic measures for alleviating poverty is to prevent the waste and to share our wealth with the other people in need. And the methods of Islamic tradition, like in the form of zakat, sadaqah, to combat poverty can also be a source of inspiration for this struggle of poverty alleviation in current world. And also we shouldn't forget about WACs, which constitute efficient tools to fight against poverty by contributing to generate income for the poor people. So we should think about an economic system in which money circulates not just among the people of our population, our communities. So we need to think about this in terms of our future as well. Distinguished participants, we know that there's a rapid development of artificial intelligence, and it offers unprecedented potential to transform poverty reduction strategies as well. In line with our SDG 1 targets, artificial intelligence can be a powerful tool for predicting and addressing the root causes of poverty, from improving food security through AI-powered precision agriculture to enhancing social protection systems. This all can rapidly respond to crises that possibilities are very immense. In OIC member countries, artificial intelligence and technological innovation are already reshaping key sectors. We know that, like in the healthcare, agriculture, and education. However, according to the midterm review of OIC 2025 Program of Action, which is conducted by CESRIC together with other OIC institutions, it reminds us that for these technologies to truly contribute to poverty alleviation, they must be widely accessible and they must be widely inclusive. So digital device, particularly between our member countries in low-income regions, must be addressed urgently for us to reach the targets of our program of action. And the window to achieve the SDGs, as we all know, is narrowing. So it makes it critical for our member countries to accelerate the efforts in areas that still lag behind. And with ongoing global challenges such as economic uncertainty, regional instability, and inflationary pressures, the path that we have in our way demands renewed commitment and strategic interventions from all of the communities. So let me share with you a few key findings for the 2024 edition of our SDG report. According to our report, in 2020, nearly 1/3 of our population in OIC member countries lived on less than $2.15 per day in 2000. But this rate decreased, alhamdulillah, to 11.7 in 2022. Still, it's a high number, but compared to the 2000 figures, there's a progress. So almost half of the OIC member countries are expected to reach near zero extreme poverty by 2030. However, in some West and East African OIC member countries, more than 1/3 of the population still lives in extreme poverty. And in 2023, the total government spending on education in OIC was nearly 16%. And this is significantly higher than the global average of 13%. When we look to the prevalence of undernourishment, in 2022, the prevalence of undernourishment was nearly 14% in OIC compared to 9% worldwide. So overall, we can see that the OIC member countries have made moderate progress in alleviating extreme and other forms of poverty. But this progress isn't sufficient for us to achieve the goal of ending all forms of poverty till the 2030. And another thing is that we know that knowledge and critical thinking, often represented by science and technology, are crucial for driving change in the century. So they play an essential role not only in economic growth and development, but in all aspects of human activity. So in this regard, investment in physical and digital infrastructure, including transport, education, energy, information, and communication technologies, are crucial for achieving sustainable and inclusive development. And we know that to boost socioeconomic development in OIC member countries and to alleviate poverty, advancing in the infrastructure is highly essential. In many OIC member countries, we see that there is low levels of digital infrastructure and uneven access to resources. This continue to hinder the full realization of our member countries towards reaching the SDGs. Another thing is the important aspect is the RD spending. It is promising to see that the RD spending is increasing in our OIC member countries. Despite all of these challenges and despite all of the progress that have made till now, we stand at a moment rich with opportunity. So we should look from the positive side. And as the Pact for the Future outlines, there's a roadmap that calls for innovative and transformative actions for all of us and to use the AI to accelerate this progress. But on the other hand, we must also ensure that these artificial intelligence-driven solutions are grounded in ethical principles. so that to designate to mitigate the risks of bias, inequality, and exploitation. So if we are to succeed, technology must not only be a tool for economic growth, but also will be helpful for the social inclusion, social justice, towards our goal of poverty alleviation. And as we focus on breaking the cycle of poverty, we recognize the pivotal role of education and digital literacy, particularly for youth, as mentioned by His Excellency Mr. Taha Ayhan. And the findings of our reports also highlight the critical needs for investment in education systems to equip the young people with the skills needed for the upcoming digital age. In many OIC member countries, as we know that youth represent a significant portion of the population, and it's expected that by 2025, OIC youth population will account for 30%, one-third of the world's total youth population. So we have actually huge potential for reshaping the future of the world as well. This demographic advantage, if harnessed correctly, can drive economic growth, innovation, and social progress. But for this to happen, we must close the digital literacy gap as well. So empowering young people with the skills to navigate and to shape the digital economy is essential for their, not just only for personal advancement, but also for the collective advancement of our societies. So we can say that by prioritizing digital literacy and education, we are giving the next generation the tools to unlock their potential and to build more prosperous and equitable future. So we see that today's event serves as a reminder that if we work together, if we share our knowledge, if we combine our resources, we can address unique challenges faced by our member countries. And our also reports show that in terms of SDG 1, SDG 4, and even for SDG 8, we can have more accelerated progress in the near future. The road ahead requires us to link traditional approaches, but also to embrace innovation and new technologies as a driver of positive change. Our aim is to leave no one behind. So our end aim should be to leave no one behind, because we always said that the choice is ours. The choice is in the hands of our young generation. So thank you very much again for organizing this event together with all of our institutions. And I hope that this will be a stepping point to increase the modalities to alleviate poverty while we are reaching to 2030. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this very insightful details and statistics, and definitely your call out for cooperation and partnership. I think that goes along as well with His Excellency Taha Ayhan's call out. So we have a good start for partnerships with all the participants here today. We look forward to that, of course. Moving forward, the OIC member states are spending up to 1% of their GDP on research and development. I think Her Excellency Ms. Zahra just gave us some information about that, while more other or some different countries are spending maybe up to 9%. So this is something that we can also address. With that, I would like to call Mr. Muhammad Maher Manai, head of the Islamic institutions at the Islamic Development Bank. Please, Mr. Muhammad, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Happy to be with you. This is a very important subject, and I think everybody, especially in our member countries, has this, concern, because we need to help, our brothers, everywhere in all our ummah, let's say, and we need really to do something to them. And this is a responsibility on our shoulder vis-a-vis not just, our institutions or government, but vis-a-vis our God. And this is a noble kind of, I mean, responsibility. We really need to coordinate and to work together. So as you mentioned, and as Her Excellency Zahra, I mean, stressed, the gap, and really when it comes to SDGs, we are far away from, I mean, the SDGs target. No way we can achieve those targets. So the only solution is to work together. Really, we need to join forces in order, I mean, to work more in terms of synergy, and to raise more money and to be more effective. Because sometimes just we are ending up pumping money without really achieving the KPIs that we are designing from the beginning, when we set up a program or we set up an initiative, and we start with big figures: 1 million job, I mean, to be created, 2 million to be served. But later on, really, we don't have, even we have the tools to monitor that and to double check all those KPIs. So that's why, I mean, technology, and especially AI, it's extremely important, and we need to have it as a tool. Of course, it's a tool for us, I mean, to achieve our KPIs. So all the governments all together, I mean, I mean, they're spending there. We need at least, I mean, 3 trillion, I mean, to reach these development, I mean, but all together, all the multilateral institutions all together, we have only 280 billion USD. So that's why really we need to work together with the governments, with all multilateral institutions, in order to be more effective. As we speak, as far as the ISFD, the Islamic Solidarity Fund, is concerned, so we just launched a big program called Hope Program. It's harvesting opportunity for poverty eradication. It's a program of 600 million USD, targeting at least 10 member countries, LDMCs, and low-income member countries. I think the program will reach 1 billion easily, because the first project in Tunisia was designed to be 50 million USD. Now we close the project with 200 million USD. As I said, we need to work together. So in this project in Tunisia, I mean, we are providing financing through line of finance, plus technical assistance, capacity building, and especially access to market. For us, I mean, really, I mean, to fight this poverty, we need to create jobs. Because when you create jobs for those, I mean, people, everyone will have a family behind. He can really, I mean, fund the family behind, and not the family of the family, even behind. And I can talk about my story. I am coming from mid-income, even it's low-income kind of family. But my brother, I mean, my elder brother, I mean, got a good job, and that's why he opened the door for the whole family members. Now all of us, doctors, directors, pilots, and so on. So really, when you equip, I mean, those people with a job, you give them, I mean, the key to be impactful and to add value and to help the others. So this is the only solution for us. And MSMEs, it's a key for us, because I mean, as you started in the introduction, really, I mean, job creation is extremely important. So the only way is to go through MSMEs. MSMEs, it's a magic recipe. It's, I mean, to convert the job seekers into job providers. So if you have 100, I mean, unemployment, and you create 10 MSMEs, every MSME will, I mean, employ 10 person. Halas, you kill the employment and you achieve the target. So really, we need to focus, but you need to provide with them with the right services. And I can see a lot of multilateral institutions, they are replicating what they are doing. And we end up just pumping money without really having the results. In 1 year, you don't see those MSMEs, because it's simple. Just you are providing them with the financing without helping them, assisting them how to use the financing and how to access the market. Because those MSMEs, really, it's harsh, especially now member countries, to face the competition. So that's why in ISFD we shifted our intervention from just financial inclusion into economic inclusion. In economic inclusion, we provide three outputs: financing, plus technical assistance, and especially access to market. In Tunisia, through this program, we are targeting 1 million jobs, and we are using, I mean, all those new technology tools like, I mean, the green, energy, and we are using the drones from well-known company in Netherlands, I mean, to provide the drones, I mean, for the irrigation and to spot, I mean, issues in the land and so on. So all those tools will help and support and increase the productivity. We are targeting mainly the small farmers. So it's open for the food security, but we are targeting mainly the small farmers because according to the studies, I mean, recently, and especially our studies, we found out that 80 to 90% in Asia and in sub-Saharan African, 80% of the food, I mean, is provided by the MSMEs. And 60% of those MSMEs are basically, I mean, women. Okay, so for us, and it turned out based on our studies that, I mean, this food security is more efficient by providing four to 3 to 4 times efficient more other than sectors in terms of fighting, I mean, poverty. So that's why we structured our whole program with the special focus on those small farmers by equipping them and introducing the new technology to enhance and to create the jobs and especially to enhance the productivity. But in the same time, it's not just, I mean, providing financing will help us fight poverty, because poverty, it has different and multi-dimension, as you know, this multi-dimensional poverty, I mean, index. You have the healthcare and they have the education. So as we speak now, we are in advanced discussion with London School of Economics to come up with a new design when it comes, I mean, to education and to healthcare, to help, I mean, those people in our member countries, I mean, to provide them with the basic service when it comes, I mean, to healthcare and education. Also, we are introducing a new program called, I mean, school feeding, in order, I mean, to encourage people in certain region in Africa, I mean, to go to school. We are providing them with the food. It's just, I mean, suddenly, sorry, I mean, unfortunately, we are using this, I mean, to that extent, I mean, people there, I mean, suffering in our member countries, just to the extent and to the level that we are giving them food in order, I mean, to attract them and to push them to go, I mean, to attend school and to study. So this is it. I mean, for the time being, I will be more than happy, I mean, if you have any questions, and we are open, and always we are trying, I mean, to gang out and to have partners. So in Tunisia, we have the African Development Bank with us. African Development Bank, they are providing equity, as we are providing, I mean, the working capital and the investment components. We have with us UN Women and the UNIDO, they are providing the technical assistance. And we are, I mean, partnering with innovative companies to introduce the new technology with certain, I mean, companies in Netherlands and others, in order then to make our introduction more efficient. In any transaction, any initiative, we make sure that we have this new technology, I mean, platforms to follow up live the implementation of the initiative, to see the money to whom it's going. Because before, to be honest with you, we found out sometimes you are providing finances to MSMEs. It ended up, when we go for audit, it ended up with the big companies, not those MSMEs. So really, I mean, to use the technology, those new kind of, I mean, AI and others will help us to be more efficient and to measure the impact of our intervention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad. I must say the Islamic Development Bank is doing quite a great job. And if I may, again, I recall His Excellency President Taha's speech, where he said that ICWF is ready to help out and budge in all the actions taking place to help the usages of technology in the right place, whether it is through ICOF's Incubation Center, through Young Business Hub, which are working with SMEs and startups for the youth, dedicated for the youth, and even through the education and training department at ICOF that is specializing in the new or modernized education, providing education for the youth in the OIC countries, especially those who, as you yourself mentioned, do not have the opportunity that others have due to their family status coming from lower or middle class families. So thank you very much. That was a great example, and mashallah, God bless you and your family in that regards. Thank you again. Moving on, the New World economy is all based on knowledge, information, technology, and the fast growing digitalization. How is education coping with this development? And how is AI influencing the education itself nowadays? For that, I would like to call Miss Bella Sullivan, the director of the McGill Youth Advisory Delegation. Miss Bella, please, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the moderator and the invitation to participate in this panel. My name is Bella Sullivan. I'm the director of the McGill Youth Advisory Delegation. Our mission is to amplify the voices of young people worldwide, ensuring that our perspectives are not only heard, but also shape international policy, specifically at the United Nations. And as a youth-led organization, we recognize that the issues affecting young people, especially those related to poverty and gender equality, are often overlooked in global discussions. Our goal is to bring these perspectives to the forefront, advocating for policies that address the unique challenges faced by youth today. And by actively engaging in dialogues like this one, we hope to contribute to a more inclusive and equitable approach to policymaking. And so today, I want to talk a little bit about how we can collaboratively address the feminization of poverty and work towards effective solutions that empower women and girls globally. So as everyone I'm sure knows, poverty is a multidimensional issue, but it's clear that the impacts are not evenly distributed. Women and girls, especially in disadvantaged communities, face unique barriers to escaping poverty. And as we think about building a future where poverty is no longer limiting opportunities, we must prioritize education and gender equality and recognize that youth, those who are living through these challenges, are key to driving this meaningful change. Poverty, as we understand it today, is not just an economic problem, it's deeply gendered. And over 10% of women around the world live in extreme poverty, many of them surviving on less than $2.15 a day. And these women and girls are not only denied economic opportunities, but they also carry the burden of unpaid care work and domestic responsibilities, making it even harder to break free from the cycles of poverty. And at the heart of this is education. When we talk about breaking the cycle of poverty, we cannot ignore the fact that access to education is still a major obstacle for many girls around the world. And without education, young women are limited to their opportunities for decent employment, leadership roles, and financial independence. In MIAD's written statement to the 69th UN Commission on the Status of Women, which will be published on the UN website later this year, we emphasize that education is the cornerstone for achieving gender equality and reducing poverty. And when girls are denied the opportunity to learn, they're denied the chance to change their circumstances. But to access education isn't enough. We also need to ensure that young women are supported throughout their educational journeys. And this means addressing the underlying barriers that push girls out of school: financial insecurity, unpaid care responsibilities, and harmful cultural norms. Policies such as stipends for girls in schools can alleviate family pressures, ensuring that girls stay in school and gain the skills that they need to succeed. And as a youth-led organization, we firmly believe that young people must be at the forefront of crafting these solutions to poverty. We understand the nuances of poverty in a way that no policy document can fully capture, because many of us are living through it. And young women in particular must be empowered to lead these changes. When we talk about gender equality and poverty eradication, we cannot afford to leave youth voices out of the conversation. And we know what works, but most importantly, we know what doesn't. And we need to understand that education, economic opportunities, and policy change are interconnected. And we are ready to be that generation that makes the long-lasting transformative change. But if we're serious about poverty eradication, we need bold transformative policies, just like what some of our panelists have discussed today, that go beyond service level fixes. In our written statement to the CSW, it outlined key areas that must be prioritized if we want to see real progress in ending poverty and achieving gender equality. First, one of the biggest reasons girls drop out of school is because of the economic pressures their families face. When a family is struggling financially, it is often the girls who are pulled out of school first to help at home or contribute to the family income through unpaid labor. And this dynamic only deepens the cycle of poverty. To combat this, we advocate to implement stipends for women and girls, a financial lifeline that would ensure education remains a priority, even given times of financial hardship. And these stipends would directly reduce the financial pressure on families, allowing girls to stay in school rather than being forced to child labor or domestic work. And when girls stay in school, they have a much greater chance of breaking free from poverty later in life. Educating girls is not just an economic imperative, it's a multiplier of effects that benefits entire societies. Studies have shown that every additional year a girl stays in school can increase her future income by 20%. Imagine the impact if millions of girls around the world could stay in school for at least just one more year. Second, poverty is not just a lack of money, it's a lack of access to tools and knowledge needed to manage money. And for women and girls, this gap is particularly wide. In many communities, women are excluded from financial decision making, either because they lack the knowledge or because societal norms dictate that men handle the finances. And this is why MIAD is calling for financial literacy programs tailored specifically to women and girls. And these programs would equip women with the skills they need to manage personal finances, plan for the future, and even start businesses. Empowering women with financial literacy is the direct investment in their ability to break free from poverty and build economic independence. But it's not enough to create generic financial literacy programs. They must be tailored to the unique challenges that women face. For example, in areas where women are excluded from owning land or starting businesses, financial literacy programs should also include advocacy components, teaching women not only how to manage their finances, but how to also navigate and challenge legal barriers that prevent them from fully participating in the economy. So our written statement, which will be published later in the year on the UN website, will go into details of what these policy recommendations look like. But if you also want to view MIAD's website, which is mcgilead.org, you can also find more details as to what we're advocating for. And feel free to reach out to me always if you find an area of synergy or collaboration, as we're always looking for new opportunities to meet with like-minded people or those with differing opinions to see how we can engage in youth advocacy together. So in conclusion, addressing the feminization of poverty requires more than just conversation. It demands intergenerational dialogue that leads to actionable change. And panels like this one are essential for bringing together diverse perspectives and experiences, allowing us to engage with the complexities of poverty and inequality. And by fostering these discussions, we can better understand the unique challenges faced by young people while benefiting from the insights of those with more experience in advocacy and policy. So I'm excited for this collaboration, and I'm excited to be a part of conversation with such an esteemed group of people. And I'm looking forward to what the rest of the panelists have to say. I'll pass it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bella, for the incisive youth talk, actually, that really represents the youth of the world and how the youth of the world can work together. And you called for, again, for partnership. And this is like a very positive atmosphere that everyone is willing to partner with everyone else. And that's definitely the way to make the world a better place. Thank you once again. Will these emerging technologies create a wider gap in economies between nations, especially between the developed nations and the less developed ones? Or will it do the complete opposite? Bridge the gap, and bring these nations together by breaking the bridges maybe making them one land reachable by all by what we call globalization. Will technology finally reach that out? For our next speaker, we have Ms. Dima Al Khatib, the Director of United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation, whose message shall be delivered on her behalf by Ms. Bushra. Ms. Bushra, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to convey the message of Ms. Dima Al Khatib. The adoption of the Pact for the Future in September represented an important step towards a stronger and more inclusive multilateral system. We now need the engagement of all stakeholders, including young people, to ensure that the Pact's ambitions are translated into meaningful change on the ground for future generations. The Global Digital Compact of the Pact for the Future is an inclusive framework to ensure open, free, secure, and human-centered digital access, particularly for low-income nations and marginalized communities. Closing the digital divide is fundamental to enabling youth, especially in the global south, to fully participate in and benefit from the digital economy. In addressing this challenge, South-South and triangular cooperation are offering a path forward. South-South and triangular cooperation enables countries to leapfrog traditional development trajectories by adopting cutting-edge technologies faster and at lower costs. For example, mobile banking innovations in Kenya, like M-Pesa, have been shared with countries such as Rwanda and Tanzania, enabling millions to access financial services without the need for traditional banking infrastructure. In the health sector, telemedicine solutions originating from countries like India and China have been shared across Africa, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. These digital health platforms have expanded access to medical services in remote areas, improving healthcare outcomes without the need for significant physical infrastructure. Cuba and South Africa have collaborated extensively in biotechnology through triangular cooperation. This partnership led to the establishment of the BioVac Institute in South Africa, which produces vaccines. This initiative not only strengthened South Africa's healthcare system, but also built its capacity to develop and manufacture life-saving vaccines locally. Collective action with the participation of all stakeholders, including young people, particularly through platforms like the ICYF, is essential to harness emerging technologies responsibly for poverty eradication. The United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation stands ready to work with you hand in hand to scale up your successes, facilitate partnerships, mobilize resources, and showcase successful poverty eradication practices through South-South and triangular cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bushra, and thank you, Ms. Dima Al Khatib, for, again, a call out for cooperation by the United Nations Office for South Cooperation. Moving on, internet quality is a major factor in having these technologies and this AI as a tool to eradicate poverty, as a tool for education, as a tool for development. Therefore, data infrastructure is a need, must, and an obstacle faced in lower income countries, especially within the OIC region. For that, I would like to call Mr. Arman Tinebik, Professional Officer from the OIC General Secretariat from the Department of Science and Technology. Mr. Arman, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much indeed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. First of all, thank you very much for our colleagues from ICYF for this kind invitation and for the chance for the OIC General Secretariat just to share some views or comments on this extremely important topic we are discussing today. What I've noticed from the very beginning, the previous speakers were rightly mentioning that poverty, it is much more than simply the lack of financial assets, right? Because this is why I like this United Nations document, where poverty is defined this way: just fundamentally, which is very important to me, fundamentally poverty is a denial of choices and opportunities, a violation of human dignity, which is very close to the noble Islamic values. And it means lack of basic capacity to participate effectively in society. So this is, again, not to present a human being as a selfish consumer of material resources, but about the financial or any material assets, just to assist and to enable a human being to be a dignified member of the society and to participate fully in that society's life. So, and this is why it is very important definition to my point of view. So, and of course, excuse me, artificial intelligence represents transformative force in various sectors, including healthcare, finance, and education. And in Islamic countries, the adoption of artificial intelligence is gaining the momentum now, reflecting a broader global trend while addressing unique cultural and societal contexts. And these OIC nations increasingly recognize AI's potential to bolster economic growth and improve governance, particularly in the face of this rapid globalization. And of course, economic growth is inevitably linked with the eradication of poverty. And countries like the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, Turkey have initiated substantial investments in AI frameworks, promoting innovation through national strategies and partnerships with global tech firms. And this aligns with a historical commitment to knowledge and scholarship prevalent in Islamic civilization. And furthermore, such advancements must navigate the ethical principles which His Excellency SESRIC Director Zahra Hanum has rightly mentioned about, which ethical principles are rooted deeply in Islamic teachings, emphasizing justice, fairness, and the enhancement of human welfare. And I think that the challenge lies now in balancing technological advancement with the socio-cultural fabric of Islamic societies, which is very important, and efforts to ensure inclusivity and transparency in AI applications resonate with the Islamic ethos of the welfare community. As AI continues to evolve, it is imperative that Islamic countries harness this technology responsibly, bolstering an environment conducive to ethical practices while striving for sustainable development. And through mindful integration of AI, these nations can aspire to achieve both economic prosperity and social harmony. And I'd like just to say a few words about the recent developments within the OIC community with regards to perspectives of the AI development across the OIC area. For example, in May 2024, during the Islamic Summit in Gambia, the final communique of this summit recognized the final communique recognized, let me quote it, recognized the rapid acceleration of the design, development, deployment, and use of artificial intelligence systems, and their potential impact in accelerating the achievement of OIC 2025 Program of Action, OIC STI Agenda 2026, and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and therefore stressed the urgency of achieving global consensus on safe, secure, and trustworthy artificial intelligence system. Just the conference encouraged the member states to undertake appropriate steps to develop both the human resources and the infrastructure required for integrating with and benefiting from the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence. And the last passage of this communique with regards to the AI, the conference further urged member states to develop comprehensive national AI strategies with particular emphasis, it is very important, with particular emphasis on making them ethically credible, safe to implement, and conducive to international cooperation, with the utmost goal to ensure harnessing and transformative potential of AI and mitigating any potential risks. So, and this sort of appeals and requests were also in the resolutions of the Council of Foreign Ministers of the OIC member states, which took place just recently, a couple of months ago in August in Yaoundé, in the Republic of Cameroon. And the ICESCO, our respective colleagues from ICESCO, were acknowledged their efforts in conducing various information and communication technologies-focused initiatives aimed at advancing technological capabilities and harnessing the emerging tools such as artificial intelligence and big data analytics. Dear colleagues, what I would like also just to add, I will have the question afterwards, but let me just continue this way. First, we, of course, among the 67 OIC member states, 21 are classified as the least developed countries, and in African countries and some others. So, and this is why it is widely acknowledged within the OIC community that the OIC member states are still lagging behind the global technological trends. And once we accept that the AI is the part of these global trends, we are just to admit that we are to do still a lot in order just to compete successfully in this field. So, and this is why, as you probably know, the OIC created the informal dialogue platform, which is called as OIC 15 dialogue platform, which is consisting of the most advanced technological OIC member states. I'm not going just to enumerate all of them, but among them are Turkey, Malaysia, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, some Arab countries, Pakistan, Iran. So, and these OIC member states are designed, these 15 OIC member states are designed to give the guidelines for the entire OIC community for their further technological development. And of course, right now, the AI topic is getting central for this OIC dialogue platform. Just last year, the first ministerial meeting of the OIC dialogue platform, the platform is consisting of the science and technology ministers of these OIC 15 dialogue platform countries. And last year, Kazakhstan hosted the first ministerial meeting, and the second meeting, inshallah, is going to be held in Iran. And just recently, we held the talks, consultations with our Iranian colleagues who are going to make AI topic as the main slogan and as the main topics to be considered during this upcoming second ministerial meeting of OIC 15 dialogue platform. So, so these are in brief about the current OIC activities with respect to urging the member states to develop their digital strategies where the artificial intelligence is going to be their essential part. So this is all I wanted just to share with you, just to brief you about the OIC activities right away about this topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you much, Mr. Arman. I also think your department is working on educational development in that regard as well, as far as I know. Great job being done. Thank you for the detailed information. Honored and glad to have heard it all. Definitely provides lots of work or data to work upon for all of us. So thank you again for your kind intake. Moving on, one of the most vigorous advantages that AI has imposed on the present day job and employment market opportunities is the focus for higher value activities or tasks, since the AI has provided the more efficient method of finishing and completing the lower value ones, giving more room for upskilling and making it easier for innovators and entrepreneurs. So now I would like to introduce one of the most, how to call it, famous or maybe respectful even Arab entrepreneurs who started with a idea as a youth, something that he likes to do, but wanted to localize it, to innovate, to give it a different idea. And through that, we can see that during the uh, ongoing crisis in Gaza, where lots of people started shifting their daily preferences, he came up with an idea of how to support these people or the Palestinian people in Gaza, how to support anyone losing jobs, how to support the youth. So I would like to introduce Mr. Mu'ath Al-Faouri, the president of the Global Forum for Moderation and the ICYF member from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. Mr. Mu'ath, the floor is yours. Mr. Maath, I think you are still muted.
You hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the invitation, Your Excellency, Mr. Taha, and for the introduction, Dr. Hazima. I'm really happy to be with you here with distinguished guests also. Talking glass is always challenging, but I have few things that I can add. Fighting poverty is goal number one in the SDGs, and many researchers and activists from all over the world focus their efforts on the countries which have the highest poverty rates, which is great. But I think there is a huge opportunity in fighting poverty in more efficient way in developing countries where access to IT infrastructure and data is more affordable. I want to talk about this specific topic. Nowadays, using data and AI tools to analyze the unemployment rate, minimum wage, spending side, and all the macroeconomic metrics that are available more accurately in such countries than most poor countries. I want to share with you some statistics that I found interesting in the role of technology and AI in poverty reduction. For example, labor market automation, according to the World Economic Forum, by 2025, 85 million jobs may be displaced by automation, but 97 million new roles may be made that are more adapted to the new division of labor between humans, machines, and algorithms, ensuring that low-income workers and communities can access training for these new roles will be critical to avoiding future poverty. So this is one important statistics. Another one, AI and productivity in developing countries. Research from PwC indicates that AI adoption could boost global GDP by 14% by 2030, with emerging economies benefiting from an average GDP boost from 6 to 8% due to improvements in productivity and efficiency. One last thing, digital inclusion. The International Telecommunication Union, ITU, estimated in 2022 that 63% of the global population, which is around 5 billion people, were using internet, leaving 2.7 billion people unconnected. Expanding digital access is critical for leveraging AI in poverty elevating efforts. As an entrepreneur in the food and beverage business and IT sector in Jordan, which I started a company start with only two employees, and we are reaching up to 150 employees. I totally agree with Mr. Mana'i when he said that supporting entrepreneurship and creating jobs is one critical issue. I believe AI shifted from nice to have to a must to have tool for all startups in order to survive and thrive locally and globally. Economic development can't be achieved without supporting entrepreneurs and making them succeed. And by letting them adopt AI and technology, this can't be happening, especially in this region. Finally, I don't want to take long time. Empowering small businesses through AI tools is crucial. Entrepreneurs in developing countries such ours can leverage AI to streamline operations, enhance decision making, and scale faster than ever before. By democratizing access to AI technologies, we can create a level playing field for startups in regions like Jordan, enabling them to compete both locally and globally, while also creating jobs and supporting economic growth. Thank you so much for having me today, and I'm really waiting to hear other distinguished guests. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muad, for this, as we can say, youth to youth talks. Maybe it's for all the youth listening to you. You have definitely become a role model in at least the part of the area which you represent, the Arab area, as we can say in Arabic, Allah awake, and to many more fruitful outcomes, inshallah. Next stop, I would like to say that AI is creating new opportunities while forming or replacing some old methods. On the contrary to what the people may think, because we know that generally people think, oh no, the AI is coming, it's going to take our jobs, we're going to be jobless. AI would replace these old jobs, as I mentioned earlier, the simple tasks, by creating new ones which need higher level of education. And we have lots of our guests who have discussed the factor of education today. Our next speaker is a very active individual within her society, within her country, within the OIC youth and OIC region. She has accomplished a lot, and she can speak to us a lot about youth intakes on the matter at hand. I would like to present Ms. Akirke Iskandarova, the chairperson of the youth wing of Jastar Ruhi, and the ICOF member representing Kazakhstan. Dear sister, Ms. Akirke, the floor is yours. Ms. Akirke, we can't hear you, I think. I think she might be having a technical issue. Yes,
Sorry.
now we can hear you, Ms. Akirke. Please, go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, distinguished participants. Thank you for your invitation. Today, I would like to address how technology, particularly artificial intelligence, AI, can be a driving force in the fight against poverty. Now important points were raised within the framework of our topic, but I also highlight the various competitions and programs organized by the Youth Wing Staruha and the Zamanat Party aimed at developing AI and information technology in Kazakhstan. So the Youth Wing Staruha is continuously involved in initiatives that promote digital literacy among the youth of Kazakhstan. In 2022, we launched a digital education program as part of a memorandum between with our organization and the Technopark Astana Hub. This collaboration aims to support programming schools and IT specialists by providing 3,000 vouchers, each valuated at up to about $100 or so and more. Moreover, we hosted a national hackathon called Amanat Tech, where over 80 participants aged between 60 and 35 presented innovative solutions to fight drug addiction as part of the project No Way to Drugs. So the hackathon emphasized the potential of technology in solving pressing social issues, particularly drug use among youth. Participants developed IT solutions such as specialized programs to track online drug distribution and report it to law enforcement. And we have in competition, we have the youth and they create the solution of youth problem and other social problems. Technology and AI also create new jobs and foster entrepreneurship. Automation enables business to grow faster and generate more vacancies. Small businesses now have the opportunity to enter global markets through online platforms. One example is Kaspi in our country. In conclusion, technology and AI are key tools in our fight against poverty, and the initiatives mentioned today are creating a more equitable society by fostering job creation, supporting entrepreneurship, and improving access to education. As we move forward, expanding AI applications and educational programs will be crucial in tackling poverty on a global scale. And with collaboration between governments, businesses, and innovators, we can pave the way for a brighter future where no one is left behind. Also, thank you for your attention, and I welcome any questions and discussions on how we can further work together in the framework of our topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Akirke, for the youth plan set by your organization, which can serve quite beneficial for all of the partners and all of the youth who are logged into us or watching us today, right now, or whenever they want to go over this video again, which will be found on ISOF social media accounts. Making entrepreneurship better is one of the aspects of the AI and technology by making it easier, making things more affordable, whether it is the access of knowledge, access of data, access of statistics, methodologies, planning, or even designs, because we know that AI can now design some logos, design some advertisements for you. For now, I would like to introduce our last but not least speaker for today, of course, Mr. Khadim Diop. He is the president of the National Youth Council of Senegal and ICOF member representing Senegal. Mr. Khadim, please, the floor is yours.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur le modérateur. Bon, je vais parler en français. Permettez-moi tout d'abord de saluer le président Taha et l'ensemble de son équipe et saluer aussi l'ensemble des membres du Forum des jeunes pour la coopération islamique. Je suis très heureux de participer à ce panel sur les nouveaux horizons pour l'éradication de la pauvreté au pacte du futur à l'ère de la technologie et de l'intelligence artificielle. Comme vous le savez, je vais vous faire juste l'analyse. D'abord, l'analyse de la pauvreté et de l'importance de la technologie de l'IA pour le développement durable. D'abord, au Sénégal, il faut noter qu'on a un taux de chômage qui tourne autour de 14%. Ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire qu'aujourd'hui, les jeunes n'utilisent pas forcément les technologies et l'intelligence artificielle pour créer de la recherche. L'autre constat, c'est qu'il y a ce qu'on appelle une inadéquation entre la formation et l'offre d'emploi. Chaque année, dans la région, plus de 200 000 jeunes sortent des écoles de formation et des universités qui cherchent de l'emploi. Pourquoi? Parce qu'ils sont formés, mais ils n'arrivent pas à trouver un emploi. Ça veut dire qu'aujourd'hui, on doit réformer ce qu'on appelle la formation professionnelle pour répondre aux exigences de la technologie et de l'intelligence artificielle pour permettre à ces jeunes-là de trouver un emploi. Il y a ce qu'on appelle aussi dans nos pays, au niveau de l'Afrique de l'Ouest, que ce soit au Sénégal, au Mali ou bien en Guinée, en Côte d'Ivoire, etc., le manque d'infrastructures pour répondre aux besoins de la formation des jeunes. Aujourd'hui, rares sont les pays qui donnent à leur jeunesse une formation technologique de qualité. Aujourd'hui, l'Afrique est en retard en ce qui concerne l'intelligence artificielle. Et si ça continue, ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire que la pauvreté va continuer à être là. Et aussi, on va noter de plus en plus ce qu'on appelle la migration irrégulière. Ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire que les jeunes Africains vont prendre les pirogues, mourir dans la mer, ou bien prendre le désert, ou bien prendre les armes pour aller vers ce qu'on appelle les coups d'État. Donc, raison pour laquelle aujourd'hui, on doit tout faire pour outiller les jeunes Africains pour qu'ils puissent trouver de l'emploi. L'autre chose aussi, c'est la rareté d'un emploi décent. Certes, on peut trouver de l'emploi en Afrique, mais l'emploi n'est pas décent. Est-ce que ce que le jeune touche là lui permet de vivre en Afrique? Si on donne l'exemple dans la sous-région au niveau de l'Afrique de l'Ouest, les jeunes touchent en moyenne entre 150 000 ou bien 200 000, 200 000 francs CFA. Ça veut dire que moins de 300 € par mois. Est-ce que moins de 300 € par mois, le jeune peut vivre là? Donc, raison pour laquelle aujourd'hui, on doit lutter contre tout ce qui est emploi indécent. L'autre chose aussi, c'est les lourdeurs administratives. Dans nos pays, c'est extrêmement difficile de créer une entreprise. On vous demande des papiers. Est-ce que les jeunes aujourd'hui a tous les papiers nécessaires pour ouvrir une entreprise? Je pense qu'avec l'apport de la technologie, avec l'apport de l'intelligence artificielle, on peut rester dans les régions lointaines pour pouvoir créer ce qu'on appelle des entreprises. L'autre difficulté aussi en Afrique, c'est l'accès aux fonciers pour l'agriculture et aussi l'accès aux fonciers dans les zones urbaines. Aujourd'hui, pratiquement, on ne peut pas trouver de terres vierges dans les capitales des pays de l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Si vous prenez à Dakar, il n'y a plus de terre. On ne peut plus cultiver. Donc, il faut permettre à la population de disposer des terres pour aller vers l'agriculture et aussi atteindre l'autosuffisance alimentaire. Et je pense qu'avec les technologies de l'information et de la communication, avec l'intelligence artificielle, on peut aller vers ce qu'on appelle l'autosuffisance alimentaire et ça va réduire ce qu'on appelle la pauvreté. L'autre chose aussi, c'est que nos États, les États de l'Afrique de l'Ouest, les États d'Afrique en général, n'encouragent pas les jeunes par rapport à l'auto-emploi. Donc, il est extrêmement important aussi de demander à ces États-là d'investir plus dans la technologie, d'investir plus sur l'intelligence artificielle pour permettre à cette jeunesse-là. N'oubliez pas que les jeunes en Afrique représentent plus de 75% de la population. Et aujourd'hui, on ne peut pas parler de création de recettes si les jeunes-là ne trouvent pas de l'emploi. Et pour trouver l'emploi à cette à cette jeunesse-là. Je pense qu'il faut utiliser les technologies, mais aussi il faut utiliser l'intelligence artificielle. Maintenant, les solutions que nous proposons au Sénégal, il y a plusieurs solutions. D'abord, c'est que les pays de la Oumma islamique doivent mutualiser les efforts pour mettre en place une politique de lutte contre la pauvreté, mais aussi une politique pour booster l'emploi surtout l'emploi des jeunes avec les technologies de l'information, mais aussi avec l'intelligence artificielle. L'autre chose aussi, il faut que la Oumma islamique aide la population dans le cadre de la formation professionnelle. Aujourd'hui, on va aller vers ce qu'on appelle l'intelligence artificielle. Il faut que la Oumma islamique se positionne pour permettre aux populations de pouvoir recueillir ce qu'on appelle les dividendes de la technologie pour lutter contre la pauvreté. L'autre chose aussi, c'est qu'au niveau de la Oumma islamique, on doit créer ce qu'on appelle une base de données unique, un guichet unique pour permettre à un jeune Sénégalais de quitter le Sénégal pour pouvoir trouver un emploi en Turquie. Permettre à un jeune Turc aussi de quitter la Turquie pour venir au Mali ou bien pour venir en Côte d'Ivoire trouver du travail là-bas. Je pense qu'on doit avoir cette synergie-là, qu'on puisse permettre à ces jeunes, à ces populations de se déplacer pour qu'on puisse créer de la richesse au niveau de la Oumma islamique. L'autre chose aussi, c'est qu'il faut que la Oumma islamique se positionne au niveau international. Aujourd'hui, rien ne peut se faire si on n'est pas soudé, si on ne parle pas d'une seule voix. Il faut qu'on mette en place des stratégies et aussi un plan de développement pour permettre à tous les pays de la Oumma islamique de capter ce qu'on appelle les dividendes de la technologie, mais aussi les dividendes de l'intelligence artificielle pour pouvoir quand même lutter contre la pauvreté. Voilà ce que je voulais dire par rapport à ce panel. Je suis très, très, très heureux de participer à ce panel et aussi de partager l'expérience qu'on a ici au Sénégal. Je vous remercie. Merci beaucoup, monsieur le modérateur.
Merci beaucoup, mon frère, Monsieur Khadim. I shall be summarizing and translating a bit of what Mr. Khadim says, as far as my French allows it, of course. In Senegal, they're having some hard times, but they are working on the implementation. It is still a new concept that they believe it has the reformation of the capabilities for tomorrow. The costs and development of technology of AI are a burden. They are still concerned on it, in addition to the difficulties being faced. He believes that the technology, if accessed and used properly, can help reduce poverty. If it remains unattainable, it would increase the gap of poverty as well. This problem, these fears, are being faced not just by Senegal, but by several countries in Africa. We in Senegal call out the Islamic Ummah to pay attention, to work together in AI in the Islamic world and on a professional level. We must support one another. He mentioned several different countries which are working together on that in the African Union. He has thanked Turkey for helping and budgeting and budging in several countries within Africa. He asks and calls out upon everyone in the Islamic Ummah and the international community to work together on a developmental strategy on AI in order to benefit from these technologies, emerging technologies, for them to be an opportunity, not a threat. Thank you again, Mr. Khadim. I would like to open the floor for anyone who has any questions or any feedback, any answers on the things raised, please, if anyone has anything.
May I, please?
Please go ahead.
Is Excellency Zahra Hanoum available? Yeah, I don't see her. No, I don't think so. She's
Your Excellency, Ms. Zahra. Yes, I think.
Yes, this is Latif Rahman from the Office of the Director General. Her Excellency Zahra has to actually attend another meeting. For this reason, I'm replacing her. Maybe I can be of assistance.
okay. Yes, we wish her every success. So, dear colleagues, just I'm speculating, and my question is addressed to the CESRIC colleagues. Just through the decades, for example, once such indications like economic indications or just indications like literacy rate or something became normal in statistical calculations in measuring the growth or of countries, for example. Are there any plans or in CESRIC, for example, just in the foreseeable future, just to make another indicator, just like let us call it as AI literacy in OIC member states, for example, just which is related to the introducing the level of introducing of AI technologies, for example, and also assessing the number of people involved in dealing with AI technologies, which is all encompassing what we may call as AI literacy in the future, for example. Are there any plans for the CESRIC just to add this indicator in the future plans for assessing the development of the OIC member states? Thank you.
First of all, thank you for this actually amazing question. But we first of all need to focus on the basics at the current stage. Because whenever we are talking about AI and the models that we are talking about actually have been popularized since November 2022, it's a very actually new item, especially for those countries at the developing level. Right now, as you can imagine, the leadership is again in these actually so-called developed countries. For this reason, before we talk about an AI literacy, we should actually talk about an data literacy, statistical literacy at the first stage. Because if you cannot actually popularize the concept of data and statistical literacy at the very early stages of education, then it would be actually some kind of a hype that we are actually following this kind of trend, but it would be better to start with basics at that first stage. As the COVID-19 pandemic has shown that the timely production of data and also the production of high quality data is very much of importance, because the models that we know as the large language models are based on the information that we produce. If we cannot produce that information, it will be just a kind of a repetition of our echo. Because right now what we are seeing is an echo of what we have actually produced so far. If we cannot produce new information and new knowledge, it will be seeing our reflection on the mirror for an infinite number of times. For this reason, it is very much important that we start at the very basic level, that we increase the levels of our young generation for understanding data, for understanding statistics, because it is those actually nations, countries that are making those kind of strides in scientific development. And the more knowledge base, the more literature that you are actually producing in scientific area, those are the countries actually making those kind of actual leaps and then advancements. For this reason, AI literacy makes sense that we definitely need to take this into consideration. But before jumping on that vehicle, we first of all need to start with those basics of statistical and data metrics that I can tell. And by the way, the main institution in the actually UN system collecting the literacy data, the UNESCO Institute for Statistics has not been disseminating the literacy actually figures for so long time, because SDG 4 indicators are very much right now focused on the completion of the degrees in the educational levels. For this reason, I think the humanity has already made some kind of actually advancements concerning literacy, Right now, the issue is that we need to make sure that the primary education graduates are continuing their education in the secondary and also vocational education. This is also another important indicator that we also need to underline. Thank you. I hope that this satisfies your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arman, and thank you very much from Cesric as well for the reply. Actually, I can add something, Mr. Arman, that for the OIC countries, ICYF is conducting a training program for the youth, of course, on the youth level and youth organizational level, which is tackling AI literacy. Hopefully, this program is set to launch in 2025, inshallah. So just wanted to add it since you asked about this, that this is being done. Please, any other questions or any intakes or feedbacks from our distinguished participants, panelists? Okay, to thank you very much everything for your intake. To wrap it up to all of those who are with us here today. So His Excellency President Taha Ayhan of ICYF had called out to establish partnerships with all of those who are willing to work on AI and technology in order to elevate youth capacities and capabilities for the objective and mission of eradicating poverty in the world, especially within the OIC region. Her Excellency Ms. Zuhra from Director General of CESRIC also gave us some intel and statistical information about the problems and benefits of AI within the OIC region, and how these technologies are being developed, how the research and development of the technologies are being set into action. Then we have Mr. Muhammad Maher Manai from the ISFT, from the Islamic Development Bank, gave us some information about how the Islamic Development Bank is helping out, is budgeting, is financing, is budging in, giving budgets and support to small and medium businesses, to startups, to development of technologies, to development of innovations, in order to use and set the technology and AI tools into action. We have Ms. Dina Al Khatib from the United Nations Office for South Cooperation, had sent us or delivered what had the message delivered on her behalf on how the United Nations is also reaching out to potential partners and to global players on having or modelizing the AI and technology for a better world. Miss Bella Sullivan from the McGill Youth Advisory Delegation gave us youth action on a global level, international level, of calling out the youth to work together with the relevant and interested institutions, organizations, academic institutions as well, to make the best of the emerging technologies. Mr. Arman Tenebek from the OIC General Secretariat, the Department of Science and Technology, gave us all the studies and plans and actions being done by the OIC General Secretariat on the issue as well, and the futuristic plan of actions. Opened a call, I think, for anyone interested or all stakeholders on the matter, that they are more than welcome also to work together with the OIC General Secretariat, as well definitely as the member states. Mr. Muath Faouri, the Global Forum for Moderation, and the ICOF member representing Jordan, gave us youth opinion on that matter, being faced day by day, and gave advice to fellow youth on how they can work together to achieve the best outcomes possible from that. Miss Akirke Skandorova from the chairperson from Jassar Ruhi, the youth wing of Jassar Ruhi, and our member from Kazakhstan, gave us the plan of action set by her organization for the Kazakhstani youth on AI and technologies. And last but not least, again, Mr. Khadim Diop, president of the National Youth Council of Senegal, gave a call to the world to look out for Africa, to be there for the African youth, which are willing and working to develop the AI and technologies to actually eradicate poverty. I would like to sum up that I think we have had a very fruitful session. Everyone here is quite invested in the topic, is willing to budge in, willing to partnership. This is room for partnership, definitely, between all the organizations found here today. ICOF on a professional level is currently very invested in the development of the key aspects that empower the youth in innovation, that would elevate their education in all the OIC member states and all OIC countries, which would definitely give economic empowerment, youth empowerment, and would pave the way for better education and for more innovation, entrepreneurship, startups, which would lead us to a better world, definitely through the eradication of poverty. And I think this was very fruitful. This is a start, a basis to start, a call for the whole world to start to work together hand in hand on the issue to truly reach a better world through poverty eradication. Thank you once again to all our panelists who are with us here today. Thanks again to everyone who budged in and watching us live through ICOF social media accounts and through all relevant media tools. And hopefully looking forward to seeing you all again in future ICYF activities and programs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merci.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you all.